My fiance accused me of cheating with his brother after I went home with him.
Well, don't you know you're not supposed to even look at men? Duh.
Duh. To make this long story short, my fiance, 29 male, his brother, 24 male, and I, 25 female, were at a party with my fiance's side of the family. They can get pretty wild partying until literally the next day. By the way, this comes from Deleted, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice, goofly, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in the situation. So let us know what you would do in the comments. So, OP says, I'm not used to these kinds of events, nor do I drink much, but I had a couple of drinks at the party around midnight. My head hurts, I was tired, and I felt dizzy, so I asked my fiance to take me home. He said soon, but 1 a.m. came around, and he was still dancing around with his cousins. My brother-in-law sat next to me and said he was heading home and asked if I wanted him to take me too. I said yes, and I texted my fiance telling him that I had left already. When I came home, I realized I didn't have the key because it was on the same keychain as the car keys, so I was unable to enter my home. I was frustrated and almost in tears because my head was hurting so badly. He then asked me if I wanted to crash at his place. I thought about it, but I didn't want to wait for my fiance to get home at probably 7 or 8 a.m., so I agreed. And we went to his place, which is about 20 minutes from us. He offered me his bed and went to sleep on the sofa. I fell asleep instantly and woke up around 11 a.m. I grabbed my phone and found 30 plus missed calls and about 100 messages from my fiance. I called him and he started asking me where I was and why I wasn't answering. He was yelling and panicking. I told him I was at my brother-in-law's house and he hung up without answering. I went to wake up my brother-in-law and not even 15 minutes later, my fiance was already there, yelling and accusing us of cheating. He realized I was wearing my brother-in-law's clothes and freaked out even more. I tried to explain that nothing happened because we don't have that kind of relationship, but he didn't believe us. Then he stormed off, but came back 5 minutes later, grabbed me, and took me home with him.
So there is no way this guy's not thinking about cheating if he is so quick to jump to that immediately.
Right? Right, guys? Right.
If he hasn't done it, he's at least thinking about it, because
yeah.
to just immediately jump to that is pretty wild. I assume you have established some level of relationship or rapport with your brother-in-law since you were married.
Yeah,
and
right?
Like, it smells a little fishy.
It definitely does. He asked for my phone and I gave it to him. After not finding anything, he still thinks I have something with his brother. He told his entire family that he was cutting off his brother and won't talk to him ever again, but didn't explain why. He then said I need to work extra hard for him to forgive me and we need couples counseling, but only after I confess what we did. Okay, I don't like this. I don't like any of this.
Yeah, like, why are we so insecure? Why? I mean, like, it would make more sense if there was, I don't know, like a context or like a prelude or like this is... maybe he's been just cheated on before and he's just like super triggered at the thought. But it's like, brother, you did it to yourself, kind of. You know?
Maybe he knows
like,
his brother cheats a lot.
Yeah, Emma Wilkins says maybe the brother-in-law is a cheater. That's honestly a good idea. That's the only reason I could think of for this reaction. Other than like, oh, he's just cheating. Like this man. Because that's just, I just don't like where that's going. Where like, you have to confess what you did. And only then will I even think about forgiving you. Only then can we work on a relationship once you confess. It's like, well, what if it just genuinely didn't happen?
how do I confess nothing?
Yeah. Literally nothing happened. I was just extremely tired and I have known him for 6 years. I decided to go along with him. I talked to my mom and she said I disrespected my relationship by going home with another man and I shouldn't be surprised if my fiance calls off our engagement.
It's his own brother.
His brother. I love my fiance very much, but I never saw him like this, and I don't know what to do. My mother-in-law calls me constantly asking if I know what happened and why he would treat his brother like this, and I don't know what to tell her. I was just too tired and my head was hurting me, so I went home. Now I don't even know if my relationship is salvageable. And there's an edit to clarify something. A lot of people are asking why I didn't tell my fiance face to face that I was leaving with my brother-in-law. That's because I knew he would have stopped me and told me he would take me home and keep me waiting. I know I didn't do everything the right way, but my head was hurting me and I was tipsy. As for the t-shirt, I thought sleeping in a crop top with no bra was way worse than asking for a t-shirt to cover myself. And why didn't I ask my brother-in-law to text his brother? It didn't even cross my mind at the time. Plus, my fiance and I have that thing where you can check where the other one is. I don't know the name for it on Android. I mean, sharing
He
location.
literally has your location already.
Yeah. Edit number 2, I talked to my mother-in-law. I might update tomorrow. And we do have an update. But
Yeah. I would definitely tell your mother-in-law exactly what this is, because it's like, what's going on here? Like,
Yeah.
is there some kind of history I need to know about? Like, what could this be? Because it's like, yeah, it's like you wanted to go, your head was hurting. He's like, yeah, sure. And then it's 1 a.m. and he's still like
Right.
not winding down at all. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you just didn't have the keys to the house and you ended up at it's not like it was your old like ex-boyfriend that you slept over at. It was his
Right.
brother.
It's literally his brother. And I mean, that's probably right. Like, if he would just keep saying like, oh yeah, no, I'll take you home. No, you don't need my brother to do it. I'll take you home. And then he just keeps partying. It's like, well, dude, like, my head hurts. I want to go home. I don't want to be here. Like, that doesn't seem like the wrong thing to do at all. She was saying like, oh, I know I didn't do the right thing, but no, you're fine. Everyone is making you think that you didn't do the right thing, but
Yeah.
there was nothing wrong about what you did. It's just how people are looking at it.
Yeah, and people being like, "Oh, the shirt is bad optics." I think the worst optics would be like sleeping in your, like she says, like crop top, no bra. It's
Yeah.
like it's a t-shirt. It's
a
your
t-shirt.
brother. I've known him for 6 years.
Yeah, it's like what I think anything would look bad. If it was the clothes she was wearing already, if it was no clothes, like it would just all be bad.
And it already looks bad on you that it's like your partner's like, "Yeah, I want to leave. Like I'm like in pain. Like my head's hurting." And then you're like, yeah. And then you just like disregard it completely and like keep doing whatever you want.
Yeah. We do have an update. First of all, I checked my ex's phone. I know you're not supposed to do that, and people deserve privacy.
Wait, they're split.
Okay,
They are split.
Totally
This is-
brushed past that.
The
Yeah.
engagement is off. It's over.
Okay.
Like I said, if he's immediately jumping to you definitely just cheated, then it's like that's what he's doing.
To some people, that might sound so like, well, why you need proof for that? But it's like we've read so many stories where that is the case, and like it's got to be just some sort of psychological thing. Then where it's
Yeah.
like if you are cheating, then now you're looking out for all of the reasons, and because maybe you're scared about being caught or something, or I don't even know. But there's got to be something there because it's every single story that we read. That's not a coincidence. But to continue the update, checked my ex's phone. I know you're not supposed to do that, and people do deserve privacy, but a lot of people said that he was probably projecting. I waited until he fell asleep and I checked it. Long story short, he is cheating. Yep. And for about a month now. I don't know the girl, but from what I saw in the conversations, it seems like she is a coworker. I was shocked and a little sad, but somehow relieved because at the end of the day, he was the one doing something wrong behind my back. The next morning around 5 a.m., he went to work and I packed my essentials and went to my sister's house. I explained the situation and she and her husband were more than happy to let me stay. My brother-in-law, my sister's husband, let's call him Lucas, told me that he could go with me later if I wanted to retrieve more of my things, and I said maybe. I went to my ex's mother-in-law's house just to talk more than anything. My brother-in-law, ex's brother, let's call him Frank, was also there. I don't know if mother-in-law called him or if it was just a coincidence. I told my mother-in-law everything that happened, including the cheating, which I had proof of because I took pictures of his phone with mine. She was horrified and started crying. Frank said he did text my ex. He showed us the texts, about 10 messages like, hey, I'll take her home because you're a heavy drinker. She didn't have a key. I'll take her to my place. And even a selfie where I passed out on the bed in the back saying, she's safe. Come take her tomorrow. Okay, well, there we go. So this brother-in-law or ex-brother-in-law did reach out.
Yeah.
Everything was done right.
Which like makes perfect sense because like why that's just
Yeah.
so he did that.
Yeah. That was weird because when I checked my ex's phone, I didn't see any texts from Frank. He either deleted them or blocked his brother. Mother-in-law said she woke up around 6:30 to 7 a.m. and nobody was in her house anymore. Ex wasn't there partying till almost 9 a.m. when he started to call me. I had mixed feelings and cried a lot, but I didn't have any energy to ask my ex for answers. I sent him a text saying it was over, moved out, and blocked him. My dumb butt forgot to turn off share location, so he showed up at my sister's house crying and asking if I don't love him anymore.
Yeah, I probably don't.
Yeah.
I mean, or I do, but like that doesn't mean I'm gonna be with you.
Yeah. Like I don't know what you want.
Yeah, I'm in the process of it breaking that down.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
digesting it.
I plan on not loving you anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't want to disturb anyone, so I invited him in just because Lucas was home and I felt safe enough. He started babbling about love and stuff. I just told him that I knew about his affair. His face instantly changed and he stopped crying. That was scary. I never saw him like that. He said that that didn't mean anything and I was the only one who could be his wife. I said, no, thank you. He got very agitated towards me. Long story short, it turned into an altercation with Lucas. Lucas is in the military, so it was impressive because my ex is taller. He booted my ex out and told him that he wouldn't let him go easily next time if he tried something like that again. I cried a lot and probably had a panic or anxiety attack because I felt like I couldn't breathe. I don't remember much after that other than waking up in the middle of the night with my sister next to me. It felt safe and I fell asleep closer to her. And you are always safe listening to full episodes and stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever favorite podcast app you prefer. Just search OK Storytime and we'll be there. There is a little bit more to the story, but yeah, that sounds scary. Yeah, of course you'd have a panic attack or something because that's terrifying.
Yeah, we're just a freak man.
Freak man.
I hate like just people being confronted with their own stuff and then being like, no, this is everyone else. It's not me. It's you. Now I'm mad at you for knowing.
Yeah, it's stupid. And I'm just glad, though, that you are getting out of it, though, at this point.
Yeah.
When it's, like, starting to turn so dangerous, like, clearly, you know, if it's dangerous at one point, like, you probably never really were fully safe if he could turn like this. But, like, at least once he started to reveal himself as dangerous, that's, like, the time that you're dipping out of there. That's, like, perfect timing.
Yeah.
So that's great.
1000%.
There is a little bit more to the story. My sister and Lucas want me to make a police report because he got very violent. I don't know if they do anything because he didn't do anything directly to me, but Lucas said he would be my witness and go with me if needed. I called my ex's mother-in-law today again to tell her what happened. I really love her, but I don't think I can keep contact after what happened.
I agree.
Frank tried to call me a couple of times too, but I don't have the energy. My sister said she and Lucas are moving next year for work, and I should come with them to the new city. I think I'll do it because there's nothing else for me to do here. She's the only family I have left, so why would I stay far away from her? I think that's all. If you need more context or something, just tell me, and I'll clarify if I can. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, OP. My goodness. What a great Christmas gift to stay far away from this man.
Yes.
Lose this man.
Lose him and prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law.
Yeah, because he's a little cuckoo in the brain, cuckoo in the buku.
Cuckoo in the boo-boo.
Cuckoo in the boo-boo. Beehive's brother swap? Frank seems like a solid guy.
No, get out of the... You gotta get away from the fam.
That's a good idea. That's definitely...
Get out of
Can you
there.
imagine how that would go down if she actually got with Frank afterwards? And then he'd be like, "Rah, I knew it!" And it's like, well, you still started it. I didn't cheat or anything.
That would not be a life of peace. And
It's
clearly OP
absolutely not.
isn't interested in Frank.
Clearly. But that's the end of that story. We've got another one coming right up.
I refused to marry my boyfriend unless he gets a driver's license.
Girl, you gotta learn how to drive before you can marry me.
I, female 31, have been dating my boyfriend, male 28, for 7 years. He does not have his license, and it's starting to affect me mentally and physically because of lack of sleep, having to take him to work at night. It's making me not want to marry him unless he gets his license. By the way, this comes from user Red Throwaway Email. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Angie.
I'm Carly.
And we're all here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so tell us what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I want to clarify that my boyfriend is green flags all around except for this issue. We have talked about marriage numerous times. He is my best friend. We have only gotten into 3 arguments in our 7 years together. However, as time has gone on, it's becoming an issue that he doesn't have his license. He works 3rd shift and I work 1st shift. I used to pick him up from work and take him home before I would go to work, and then at night I would drop him off at work when I was going to bed. I got a new job and no longer can pick him up from work. It takes me 30 minutes to get to my new job. He has to walk home after work every day. His job is down the road, a 5-minute drive or a 30-minute walk. Him lacking his license is affecting me mentally and physically because I'm not getting proper sleep. He works at 10:45 p.m. I probably fall asleep around 11 or 12. It's hard for me to fall asleep. I have to get up at 4:45 for my 6 a.m. shift. I try to take naps during the day, but having ADHD, I can't shut my brain off all the time. I've been getting roughly 5 hours of sleep every night, and I complain to him that I'm tired. I've told him about pushing to get his license, suggested driving school, and told him we need to get his temps and go driving. Anything to get him to get his license. He says he doesn't have a fear of driving. I have asked him numerous times. He seems to procrastinate on studying or even looking into driving school. He says he knows he needs to, but when he gets off work, he just forgets to look into it or study for the temp test. Now that he walks home from work, he is tired.
So now we're starting to learn the consequences to our own actions and taking care of ourselves, perhaps. Tell us how you're doing, Dakota.
It's not that hard, people. It's truly not that hard.
It's not that hard.
You can practice driving in a video game,
Yeah,
for God's sake.
Please also practice in a real car.
sure.
Yeah, I'm not talking about GTA. I'm talking about like Gran Turismo. I'm talking about like a car, like a simulator.
Please actually
like,
get in a real car.
But like for real, like
Yeah.
there's a story about a guy who became an F1 driver, and he went from playing a game
true.
and then became, and he wasn't the best, but whatever.
Lucy P 1090 says, I feel for OP. My partner is 37 and still can't freaking drive. I'm sick of it. I would be sick of it too. I think OP just needs to stop driving for him.
Right, and it's
Completely.
like, shouldn't he be sick of it more than anybody? It's like, how
Yeah.
do you forget, oh, I need to study for driving school, when it's like, you can't drive and you have to be taken everywhere to go to work.
Yeah. Like
what?
I wanted to get my license so bad because my parents couldn't always drive me everywhere. Like that, they weren't just readily available to take me wherever I wanted. But he clearly has someone that will do that for him. So he doesn't have the fear. He needs to have that motivation. He needs to cut the rope or untie the rope or whatever. And I'm talking about Batman.
I mean, you could literally.
You know what I'm
I'm talking about Batman.
Did you get it?
You could literally, yeah, the pit, Batman in the pit.
Yeah.
You literally could study for like 2 days and pass
Yeah.
the written test,
It's
and
so
then the rest. I mean, it's like,
It's really not bad.
God, I
guys.
don't want you to be a bad driver, but like, if you even have the funds for driving school, just go do that. Go do that.
Please. Please. Oh, now I want popcorn, Tom.
Right?
That I want specifically movie theater popcorn.
I want
with
popcorn
butter.
so bad.
Ah,
I'm getting popcorn after this.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So that third shift drains him, and he feels like he has no time to do anything being on thirds. But he'll spend from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the computer when he gets home from work. I know part of it is his depression, being paralyzed in his spot. I deal with that too at times, but it's getting out of hand. You know something that would help with depression? Learning a new skill, improving your life by being able to drive,
Yeah,
right? Maybe that would be nice.
perhaps.
I can't say he's tired from doing stuff around the house because I do pretty much everything unless I ask him otherwise. And I drive us everywhere. He pays for 70% of everything. It's how we balance each other. One of the 3 fights we've had in 7 years is that I feel more like a mother than a partner because I do everything. Honestly, OP, it sounds like the reason you've had 3 fights in 7 years is because you are able to put up with a lot. I
This
think.
guy sucks.
I don't think he's like a total like giant walking red flag or anything, but it sounds like you compromise and are like, it's okay. And that's why there's no fight.
Yeah. My mom's in the chat. Oh boy, we felt like we drove you everywhere. Well, you did, but it's like, you still just want like some sort of at like, 11 p.m. if I want to go meet up with my friends to, I don't know, high five or something. Like you can't have you drive me to that. You know
To
what I mean?
high five or
To
something.
high five. But thanks for driving me everywhere you could, Mom. See, you couldn't have helped me with that, Mom. I needed to be a big girl and go high five my friends myself.
OP does continue. He has drastically improved with helping around the house, but it seems to be in decline again. I do more labor towards the house and he supports more financially. We all work and function differently, but he doesn't seem to get that I am working my own 40-hour job as well, taking care of the house and our 3 cats, doing the grocery shopping and food planning. driving us everywhere, including him at night. Spending an hour driving for my own job, 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back. I have lazy days too, or days where I'm paralyzed and can't do anything. I'm at my breaking point, though, with his lack of enthusiasm and effort. I've been dealing with horrible headaches and have been getting sick, and I feel like it's connected to my lack of sleep. I'm emotional and mad all the time with a cloudy brain. I don't know how to tell him that I don't want to marry him until he gets his license.
I would have no problem saying that.
That sounds like what you just said sounds like a great start.
Yeah, I feel like that's so reasonable. I feel like before marriage, because there's like love and whatever that you have to consider before marriage, but there's also those practical things too. You want to have a good financial plan down. You want to have good like jobs in place, good plans for the future, good like, be on the relatively same page for kids. I mean, well, hopefully this same page, but if there's things you need to figure out, I think it's chill. That's besides the point. I feel like it's totally okay to add to that list. I need you to be able to have a driver's license. I need you to be able to drive and drive yourself places.
Yeah.
That's so reasonable to me.
Yeah, it's not like it's, entirely undoable. We're not asking you to study for like, we're not asking you to become a pilot.
Right.
That is
That
a
would
bit more of a effort and commitment.
Right.
But like if you really just like knuckle down for like a handful of days, it could be done.
I mean, isn't it in most states too? You have to do like 6 hours behind the wheel before you can go for your test. You should be able to learn this in like roughly 6 hours, hopefully.
Yeah.
You just go to driving. It's cool.
Yeah, especially
Do a
if you're
driving
older
school.
than 18, the rules are different too. So it's like
Yeah.
even easier.
less.
Like you can get your permit and your license in the same day or something like that. Or within 24 hours.
You just
Something.
and you've got the time to do stuff. You get off work and you're on the computer for 4 hours. You've got the time to just plan that.
You'll be fine.
So I want to put out there that it's not about feeling trapped if we got married and he didn't drive. We already have a house together. It's more about it being better and safer for both of us to have a license. There have been other issues. He refuses to walk to work at night. Our car was in the shop and he had to call off work because he didn't want to walk to work and then walk home. Winter is going to be a pain to deal with. I needed to go to the ER because of horrible vertigo and had to call my mom to take me. I hope someone doesn't say I'm blind to red flags. I'm not. I see this red flag. Everything else about him is green all around. He supports me, cares for me, tries to make me laugh, helps with the finances, spoils me. I'm going to push back against spoils you because he makes you chauffeur him to his job at the expense of your sleep.
Spoils you, like in the sense that he just like buys you a bunch of expensive stuff. Like that doesn't really mean as much as actions.
Like
perhaps?
spoiling you would be like, oh, I know you have to get up at 4:45 to go to work, so I'm not even going to ask you to pick me up from work at night because that's ridiculous, especially when it's literally a 30-minute walk.
Right.
That's like so unbelievable. As long as you're not walking through like a war zone. Like,
yeah, right?
How would you not be okay with that?
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Dang.
TLDR got you.
Dude, my boyfriend.
His
Yeah.
boyfriend.
Keon can't drive? News to me.
What?
I mean, honestly, if this was me, I would be on him all the time. I'd be like, I'm just like straight up, I'm scheduling you driving school and you're going at this time.
Like, I can't. You have to figure it out. Figure it out for yourself.
And guess what? I'm driving you there and I'm dropping you off. And if you want to come back, you can drive back.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. It's like throwing a kid in the water when they're like a newborn or something like that. You just dunk them in there, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That's like, I think they do that. I think that's a thing. Right?
I think they help. I think it's learning how to float. This is
float?
after some swim lessons.
Oh, okay. I just see the videos. So they're just like, whoop. And then
It's
I'm like,
after
oh,
a couple
okay.
lessons
I
to
figured
see if
that
they've
was,
learned
like,
it.
the first time. And I was like, dang, impressive baby skills.
It could be just to
Impressive.
teach
Yeah.
them to
baby
not
I
get
skills.
scared
just
of
throw
water.
him in the river
I'm
and
pretty
say,
sure there's,
"Yeah,
like,
come
some-
on back.
Usually it's like, I think they've done a lesson or two and it's to test
No.
if they've learned to float.
That would really make sense. And that's the power of the internet.
Yeah,
changing
that's
things.
because the whole point of teaching kids that young how to swim is that you need to make sure that it's like a survival level swim. So
Yeah.
it's like they're like wearing clothes and then you basically just like push them into the pool.
Makes sense.
And then
And you
yeah.
know,
See if
you know
they
what else
panic.
is needed for survival? Getting from one place to another, possibly via car. Dump them into the Whatever. You just keep going. I was gonna,
So-
No, it was good. It was
I
good.
was gonna put it. No, it was gonna be bad. I was gonna say like dump him into the carpool and.
Oh.
Okay, I didn't
Push him
even
into
mean
the
to do that.
carpool, but then
And
he's
then-
carpooling. Anyway,
It is
OP.
to drive his swim his way out.
Yes. OP says he spoils me, worries about me, and understands how my brain ticks when I'm anxious or upset. We rarely fight and get along very well. This is literally the only red flag he has that doesn't make sense. My cousin, who knows my boyfriend very well, is even confused about him beating around the bush on this. Just stopping taking him to work isn't an option because I know me, I would cave. He wouldn't push me to take him, but I would. I just feel bad. But that's my own issue. I can't say no, or if I do, I feel horrible and it eats at me. Again, that right there is why I think there might be more like, you're like, we never fight. We've had like 3 fights, and it's because, like you said, you literally can't say no and because you feel bad or you don't want to disagree, and that's its own thing.
Yeah.
And again, it doesn't mean that he's terrible. It just means that it's like we might just be putting up with a lot of stuff, because it is pretty ridiculous that he can't get on top of this. How do I tell him about the stipulations I want to place if he truly wants to marry me? And there are some comments, but the big one is just that, like, I don't even think you need to make it about getting married. I think you just need to make it clear that, like, you taking him to work is taking, like, a physical toll upon you.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, it is affecting me both mentally and physically to take you to work or pick you up from work at night because I don't get good rest. And I have to wake up before 5 a.m. to go to work. So
It's just the facts. That's all it is.
I would hope you would see the solution to that would be you taking responsibility for getting yourself to work. And that doesn't even necessarily mean driving, but like you should want to be able to drive. So I don't know, you can take care of things if I can't.
Yeah.
Like if I'm taking care of the house and, you got to run out and get something. You can't do that because you can't drive.
Right.
So if we're going to be like a unit, it would just
Right.
make sense.
Yeah. There's just so many reasons to do something so basic. Please, I'm begging you.
And we have comments. Not the a-hole, but wow, this is a lot for you to deal with. Honestly, I would tell him he either needs to get his license within the next month or so, or he needs to see a psychiatrist or psychologist as to why he won't get his license. You don't even need to bring up the marrying him aspect. Just set a date. January 1st. Perfect date. You must have your license by the 1st, or else I'm not driving you to work anymore. Enough is enough. If he cares about you and your well-being, he will do this. And you can tell him that. He needs to take care of himself and be a responsible adult. You doing everything does not make him a responsible adult. As for chores around the house, make a list of everything that needs to be done and split it right down the middle. You are not his mother. Stop acting like one. He is supposed to be your partner, and partners share responsibilities. OP replies, yes, I agree 100%. It's just going to have to be one of those conversations again about me not being his mom. And yes, it's going to have to also be me that stops giving in to him. That will be a tough part of me because I'm such a people pleaser and have a weak spot for him, of course. But I don't want my health being affected because I'm too people pleasing. Part of me agrees with not mentioning the marriage thing. Part of me feels if I did, it would motivate him. I know it wouldn't put a dent in our relationship if I did mention that. But simply saying do this for us and do it because of my own health reasons summarize the same reasoning as does the whole marriage thing. So not mentioning is the best option. Putting a date on it should help, hopefully. Thank you. I appreciate your advice. And we have an update.
We have an update. What's gonna happen?
Update. Hey, Reddit. Wanted to give you an update. I took all your advice to heart. I didn't respond to everyone individually, but I read every comment. And you're right. I'm not his mom, not his cleaner, and not his chauffeur. I did have a talk with him, sticking only to the one conversation regarding the license. We will talk more about him helping, but I did mention a D&D session where he left a lot of stuff for me to get ready for his own get-together at the house, which pissed me off. Today, he got 70% of the house ready for the end session tomorrow. I can summarize the conversation. We sat on the couch and I told him, you need to work on getting your license. I'm burnt out and it's affecting my sleep. I'm tired of being the only one that drives. You need to look into driving school for weekdays, learning, or to get someone to teach you. I can only teach him on weekends because of our different schedules. And again, you shouldn't have to teach him because you're not his mom.
Yeah.
You know who taught me how to drive?
Who?
My mom.
Your mom.
Because I was a teenager.
Yeah, that's when you typically learn.
He understood, apologized, and even offered to start walking to work so I could get my sleep. I didn't have to suggest it. He said he didn't want to make excuses. He didn't realize how much it was affecting me and asked how long I had been burnt out. He asked why I didn't say anything sooner. I told him I had numerous times, but he wasn't listening or taking hints. I said, I've told you about looking into school. You always say, I forget, and I was tired of the same excuse. I told you plenty of times when taking you to work that I was tired. He said he'll work on getting his license, sign up for driving school and study for his temps and start walking. Nice. So the power of conversation wins out again. Gotta love that.
Gotta love it.
And something else I love
What do
is
you
that
love?
you can listen to full episodes with stories like this on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, search OK Storytime. And you can listen to a bajillion episodes.
A bajillion.
Yeah, that's a number that doesn't even exist until we invented it.
Holy crap.
And we have a little bit more story left here. I'm happy. I think you could have maybe brought it home a little bit more, how it's like, as my partner, you need to care that I'm burnt out and exhausted.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, maybe, like you said, you're like a people pleaser and it's hard for you to like go against the grain. So like maybe your hints were too subtle for his dumb brain.
Maybe.
And not saying that he's a dumb guy, but every guy's got dumb brain
Sure.
to some extent.
It's
In
just
fact-
part of the build.
I would say everybody's got a little bit of dumb brain
Everybody's got a little bit of dumb brain.
in different ways.
Totally.
But as soon as you made it very clear, I wouldn't say like you need to work on it. It'd be like you need to get it like as soon as
Yeah.
possible, you know?
Yeah. Just have it. And don't talk to me about it until you have it. Don't ask me for a ride
Yeah.
unless it's like an exception or something. But don't talk to me about it. Just shut up, get it, go.
Yeah, and hopefully his actions are prompt.
Yeah.
I'd be looking for actions. But let's finish the story. I was happy to hear him say this, but wasn't sure when or if he would follow through. We are both off on weekends. The conversation was Friday. The next morning, he was on his computer. I asked what he was doing, and he said he was studying, but didn't clarify what. An hour or two later, he came out and asked, is there any chance we can go today to get my temps? I said, absolutely.
Yay, he shut up.
Yay.
He did it. Yay.
He got them. He told me his friend and coworker is going to show him how to drive after work. He said he'll call Monday to sign up for driving school. Look at that.
Love
Thank
it.
you all for the push and wake-up call. Hard pills need to... Hard...
Hard pills need to swallow.
Hard pills to swallow, but medicine I needed. And that is the end of that story.
There you go. Okay, that's great. That's great.
It sounds like you might be a CPP.
A
Chro-
CPP.
a chronic people pleaser.
ICPP.
And when you CPP, you gotta stop, okay?
Yeah, you gotta close your eyes.
And it's not even, I don't even think you're in the people. It's like you just are worried that like, you can't be worried about like, oh, is it going to be upsetting or am I going to be like asking him to do something he doesn't want it? It's like
no. Sometimes you can have a little tough love with someone.
yeah. And you're in a partnership and clearly your partner is very responsive. As soon as you made it explicitly clear that you're like not okay with this arrangement and it
Yeah.
is a detriment to you,
Yeah.
he, took the immediate steps. Cause like if something comes across as not that important, I know for me, it's like, cause I've got rat brain, so I will forget. I will forget things immediately. Like I went to get my burrito out of the fridge for work and I put it right next to the door and then left. And I was proud of myself because I was like, don't forget my burrito in the fridge. And then I got it out of the fridge and my brain was like, yes, we did it. And then I forgot it on the table. So I remembered it in the fridge and forgot it on the table.
That's so perfect.
But
That's good.
yeah.
That's good.
rat brain.
I've definitely done things like that. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
ADHD? When are you gonna get that medicated?
That's the end of that story. And we've got another one.
Yeah, we sure do.
Wow.
I think I need to dump my boyfriend.
Dump him in the pit.
Hello, everyone. I, 40 male, have been with my fiancé. Let's call her Fanny, 30 female, for 10 years. Why are you calling her that? Why shall we let's call her that?
Wait,
Also, I don't know if this said it in there, but this is from our subreddit.
It is from our subreddit.
Wait,
How
but
exciting.
you need to dump your boyfriend, but your fiance is 30 female Fanny?
Let's find out.
Maybe you do need to dump your boyfriend if
you
you have a
a
fiance.
I love my fiance with all my heart. I would give my life for her if it was needed. There are just things that have always been there that I am recently discovering and I don't like. By the way, this comes from I Got the Needs too. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit because this was one of those stories that was in our r/okstorytime subreddit. This is one of our own. How lovely. I'm Angie, by the way.
I'm Dakota.
And I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in this situation. So let us know what you would do in the comments. So OP says, for starters, when we first got together, she claimed she used to keep the house she lived in before nice and orderly. Since the day she moved in, I haven't seen her stay on top of anything. I blame myself, really. When we first moved in together, we divided up the labor. These are your main chores, these are mine, and whoever can do the extras should take care of them when needed. She really has only two main chores that she doesn't stay on top of, the dishes and the laundry. Everything else pretty much falls onto me. I'm not going to pretend like she doesn't do other stuff. She does. It's just that when she does, I'm expected to drop everything I'm doing to also clean, or she's in such a terrible mood that she's unbearable to be around. This is low on the issues list. My chief issue is our intimacy. Fanny is the type of person who could go through life without spicy sleep and be completely fine. Having a 10-year head start on her, I've seen other women grow out of that into being more spicily adventurous. They got into tune with themselves. I hoped over time that this would happen to her also. I've tried everything I can think of to stoke that fire. I've even done all her chores to give her an environment where she shouldn't have much stress. The discussion of intimacy is always interesting and not in a good way. Her definition of it is different than mine. She believes that spicy sleep is just spicy sleep. Intimacy to her is holding hands, cuddling, kissing, etc. While I do believe those things could be intimate, I don't define it as that.
Hey, ¿por qué no los dos?
Why not both? Is that what that means?
It was just
I
the
know
date
Spanish.
shoved in your cheek. Like a
I
little
need
squirrel.
calories.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like that's honestly like a translation issue type thing. Like, yeah, both things are important and can be important to you, and you can call one thing intimate and you can call another thing intimate, but at the end of the day, they're both just things that you want to do and things that you need. You know what I mean? Whether you call it intimacy or not, that's not really the point of it, I think.
Also, you said earlier that it's like these are things you're just now noticing,
Yeah.
but it sounds like you actually have noticed this for a long time.
Sounds like this has been like a big issue for you for a while.
And you might just be waking up to the reality that you're not able to change it.
Yeah, perhaps. We've had very long discussions about needs and what we both need out of a relationship. A while back, we had a nasty fight. I found out she had been using a toy when I'm not around. That hurt me so badly. I'm a willing and able participant, and she chose that over me. I even explained to her how much it cut me deep. She put it back on me, saying I'm the one who told her if you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use the toy, you lose it? That's like what you tell children when they don't clean up their toys around the house. Their actual toys, not these spicy toys. That's really funny.
I'm confused by that logic.
That's really funny.
Like, it's like you were talking about like doing that together.
Yeah.
I don't know. There might be just a really uncomfortable conversation about like satisfaction on the table,
Yeah. Yeah.
which can be addressed.
Could be. And, maybe a conversation like that would turn out well. Because then you really talk about ways that you can work with each other. And then things can get better.
Yeah, there's this really cool book they wrote in India a long time ago.
Pretty popular if you've ever heard of it. I'll let you guys guess what that is. A few things to note. We barely have spicy sleep, maybe once a month. We've gone 4 months at a time without any spicy related activity, including redacted activities specified. For me, I feel connected when I have spicy sleep. That's why I can't just go sleep with a stranger. I need to know and care for them. I know this is a compatibility issue. I was hoping we could meet in the middle. Ideally, twice a week would be awesome. I would prefer it every day, but that's not realistic. Moving on, she never wants to do anything. I know she's an introvert, but if I suggest going out or doing something, she says, meh, nah. Another thing that drives me nuts is that she's pretty lazy. We are dinkwad, dual income, no kids with a dog. That's hilarious. I've never heard the wad part of that. With a dog is a really funny specification. We don't have kids, but we do have a dog.
With a dog.
And Opie says they have 2 dogs, so cool. So it hurts me that anytime she's home, she's curled up on the couch with her phone or in bed napping midday. If the dishes were done, I wouldn't care, but 99% of the time I look over, she's sleeping and the dishes haven't been done in 3 days. It's gotten to the point that she won't do them more than once a week. Laundry is another problem. I know it takes time to build a full load and only 2 of us are here, but it gets to the point that I run out of things. The phone issue drives me crazy. I don't know if it's a generational thing or person to person, but people cannot stay off their phones. If you're with someone in person, put it away. I get it if you're just home chilling, but don't ask me to watch a show with you and then jump on your phone. OMG, did you see that? No, why? What happened? You tried talking about the show and they have no clue. Social media is notorious for attention seekers trying to get validated. This opens doors to cheating. What? Okay, I think that's a jump.
Yeah.
I think that's a wild, giant jump that you're...
This is just a person who cheats on social media.
Yeah, like, okay. That I was with you up until that point.
So that was OP? I thought that was a comment.
No, that was OP. This is all OP.
Whoops.
Yeah. But, okay, whatever.
That is not what social media has to be. That's what
Yeah.
someone can make it.
Like, it's like, yeah, opening your door and going outside opens the door to cheating.
Right.
It's like, you
Yeah.
know, like,
Living your life around other people.
Yeah. and then all of that can lead to cheating. It's like, yeah, sure it can, but like,
Being
God.
born
Like, yeah.
leads to cheating.
Yeah. In my household, it's not perfect. I'm far from perfect. I'm physically limited. I was retired due to a training incident, and now I just kind of bump around the house. I cover about 80 to 85% of the household bills. While I'm home more often, I cook the most and am responsible for the outside and most of the inside. I don't think it's unreasonable to expect her to pull her weight. I try not to hold the I pay more thing over her head. I believe in a relationship where both contribute equitably.
Yeah, I think kind of sounds like, I mean, I don't know what, I'm not a professional. I don't know what could be going on mentally, but like, you know, lounging around all the time, a lot of sleeping, oversleeping, and it could be signs of depression.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe there's something going on in the mental that needs to be addressed.
Yeah. Could be acknowledged, could be looked at, be talked
Yeah.
about. Doesn't need to be like an excuse, of course.
No, but
something to think about.
Is it been a conversation at all?
Yeah. Good question. I have constant pain in my body, which won't ever go away. I have a medical device to help with the pain and take meds. In the morning, I have a small noticeable limp, and on days I try to do more, I'm hunched over in pain. Never once has she been like, "Oh, baby, you look like you're in pain. Would you like a massage?" I once asked her about that, and she said, "Because then you'll be expecting more." Oh, man. Girl, come on. I don't want to give you one massage because then you're always going to expect me to massage you, dude. Come on. That's your boo. That's your boyfriend.
I think that's a pretty big red flag.
I would have to agree.
I gotta say, I don't know if we should stay with this person because that's pretty emblematic of the way they think of your whole relationship.
Yeah. Ooh. I think so. It blew my mind. She doesn't want to do things to make me feel good, but I want to make her feel good. I never got a solid answer. In the last year, I've been going through a massive amount of depression. I was on a med that made me gain weight, and no matter what I did, I wasn't losing it. I recently got off it, but I'm still 35 pounds heavier. My goal is to drop at least 50 pounds, bigger goal 80. I hope it reduces strain on my forever injury. I'm getting medical help and trying to enroll in a GLP-1 program. I've noticed how she speaks to me recently. I've even told her that if I spoke to her in the same tone, she'd be pissed. So why is it okay to talk to me like that? When we have a conversation about something, I distinctly remember her saying things a certain way, and she gaslights me. I already have memory issues, so I second guess myself. I might start wearing a recording device just to play it back, though I hate the idea.
I think if we're at, I need to record all our conversations to not be gaslit into being told that I'm misremembering everything.
Yeah.
I think we need to maybe break up. And I think we also need to go back and redo the title, the beginning of this, because I think I need to dump my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think you need to do this. I think that's just where we're at. I mean, that would be such a the conversation that would open up from, can you give me a back massage because I have chronic pain that will be with me for the rest of my life and I've done a lot today? And the response to that is, well, no, I can't give you a massage because then you'll just expect me to do that.
Yeah, what?
Whoa, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is not a good relationship at all.
Especially if it's like, if you're paying for like 85% of stuff, it's like, do you even like me, or do you just like what our life affords you, which is that you kind of don't have to do much?
Yeah. I also am curious what she does, because it sounded at first like she was laying around the house all the time, but then he mentioned that because of his injury, oh wait, no. Well, no,
I mean,
he said that she's home most of the time.
If he's pulling in 85%, I mean, I don't know what, I assume she has some kind of income, but it
Yeah,
just sounds like, I don't know.
She's just not out of the house that much.
Yeah, sometimes we read these stories of like, you know, people with like a chronic injury or disability, and then like, I don't know, there's this weird dynamic where sometimes their partner just develops this like sort of just like underlying like seething resentment towards them.
Mm-hmm.
And like it just like can start to bubble up and come up in weird ways, like when a little thing changes, like you gained weight and now you're noticing like she's talking to you in just like a horrifically, you know, bad way. And yeah, I don't know, but regardless of any of that, I don't think this should continue.
I would have to agree. She's so set in believing she didn't say something that I start to wonder, does she really believe she didn't say that, or that she doesn't speak with that attitude? It's like the way she speaks with me is worse than anyone else. I thought you loved me. Why do you treat me like this? Recently, we've had several bad fights over the same things each time. I almost broke up with her in September. We kind of worked it out, but she didn't seem like she wanted to participate, treating it like a burden. I love her with all my heart. I want my future with her. I've spent so long with her. I can't imagine life without her. However, I also cannot forsake intimacy. I feel trapped. I want to make love, but she's not into it. I'm not a cheater, so I can't just find it elsewhere. It's not new to her. I've told her all of this. We've had this discussion at least 100 times. The longer we go without making love, the more distant I feel. Why should I keep giving you what you need while you leave me to suffer? You want me to spend all my time with you, but you don't take care of my needs? I know I sound selfish. I can't help it. Am I just a cheap place for her to live while she uses me? The constant rejection has crushed my soul. I feel unattractive and undeserving of love. I take pride in being a provider. I care about making sure she's okay. My heart is breaking slowly. The last 3 to 4 days, we've barely spoken. I feel like a frustrating roommate I have to tiptoe around. At any point, I could snap and say go. I just want her to want me as much as I want her. I would like the dishes done nightly too. I don't know what to do anymore. And I know what you guys can do. You guys can listen to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever favorite podcast app you choose. Just go to just search OK Storytime, and we'll be there. There's a little bit more to the story, but I think you know what you gotta do, my friend. I'm sorry.
I mean,
it sucks.
Sometimes things fall apart. I think what you could do is, like, if you just tried to embody that you are actually not bothered. There was a comment earlier about, like, maybe that your desire for this intimacy is like the very thing that's like pushing her away from it. But like then it just devolves into the game of you appearing like you're actually so satisfied in your life that it's like, oh yeah, I don't even need you. But whatever, I'll keep you around. And then suddenly once you do seem, you know, satisfied, because it almost seems like she's trying to keep you down. You know, like it's almost like a concerted effort to like make sure there's something that's just like crushing your self-worth. So if you can outwardly express that, like, I'm actually fully fulfilled, she might come back around. But I don't think anyone wants to play that game.
Yeah.
And I think just based on the, like, I'm not giving you a freaking back massage because what? Then you're going to expect that of me? It's like, dude, like,
whoa.
I'm expecting to spend the rest of my life with you. Like, yeah, maybe I would expect a back massage every once in a while.
Right. What? Like, that would be so nice. That's something that I would love to do with my partner. And, like, You won't even give me one because you think you're gonna have to do like that logic alone, it's like already a giant red flag. So everything else is like I feel like I could see people hearing this and kind of thinking like or defending the girlfriend and being like, oh well, can't like demand intimacy or whatever, but that's really not what he's doing at all. Like I think he's doing so much for her, and just in general she's not caring about him. Really, not that much. Maybe with words sometimes. I'm assuming that's what it is that the care that he is getting is all with words and not with actions. And he needs the actions to back up whatever words she's saying. I'm assuming there's words because there has to be something good that's keeping him here.
I don't know. He's even talking about it's like the way that they talk is like he's telling her like, yeah, I don't like the way you're talking to me, and she just goes, I'm not even talking to you like that.
That's true.
He
This
says
honestly,
they haven't even talked in like 4 days.
This all feels like a 90-day fiancé type thing, where it's like they're like, oh, they're talking so much online, and it's like, oh, I'm so in love, blah, 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 blah. And then they meet up, and then one person is just like, whatever. I'm just like here, just to like get the benefits from it. And they're like, what? But I'm in love with you. What? What do you mean I met you 90 days ago and you're not in love with me? What? That's crazy.
I think at the end of the day, you know, the unknown is scary, and that's where you'd be if you left this person that you're in love with and you had this whole vision for everything, and it's just not going that way. And I think the unknown is better than this because the unknown is also the possibility that the things can get better. Like you can find a better, partner and situation than this. And it's not even like, I don't want to even say like you can find a better partner, because then it's like, that's a toxic mentality to be like, oh, there could be always someone better out there.
Better,
But it's just that like this isn't it doesn't feel like a partnership at all anymore.
You could just find someone that's good. You haven't done that yet. It's not a good
There's
partner.
someone out there who'd be totally down to give you a freaking back massage after you take care of the house with a chronic injury and pain. Like doesn't feel like there's any empathy for you there.
Exactly. There's not. But there is a little bit more to the story. Side note, when we first got together, she had absolutely zero idea what it meant to be in a relationship. This younger generation is being let down by broken homes and parents. Women are taught to control a man and get from a man, but not how to treat him. Men are taught to catch and release. Hookup culture discourages long-term commitment. Since day one, it's been an exercise to educate her on healthy relationships. We still have issues, but for the most part, if you do for yourself, you check on your partner too. I'm physically limited. My earning potential is capped because of this. I probably rate low in the dating world. I cannot imagine finding someone again without feeling exhausted. My time for kids has passed. I don't want to burden a child with my issues. Life after her isn't appealing. 10 years. I just don't know what to do. More spicy sleep, more dishes. Maybe I'm the a-hole? If you have solid advice one way or another, I'd truly appreciate it. Thanks. And do we have their age difference again? I think we do.
I think it was
I'm checking into that right now.
I think it was like 10 years.
It is 10 years, I do believe, which is making the comments
40 and 30.
very divided.
40 and 30, and they've been together for 10 years. So they got together at 20 and 30.
There was a couple comments that he made about having a 10-year head start.
Yeah, that is true.
A little weird.
Yeah, that part got a little weird there.
I mean, it's like you knew that going into it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't complain about that. You knew that going into it. But I think
No, but she could be like 10 years behind and like learning and growing who she is as a person, low key.
Yeah, I think maybe
get out of there.
I hear you, but it's just I don't even know if it matters at this point who the a-hole is. It's just a situation that's not working, and you've talked about it a lot, and it's not getting better, and it's been years. And the sunk cost fallacy is exactly that. It's a fallacy.
Yeah.
You don't have to are you going to do another 10 years and it's just going to continue to go down?
Right.
Do you see any way for this to get better?
How long are you planning on living? If you think this is if you are feeling this way after 10 years and you think that it can like get better or something, or if you think you can just deal with this for the rest of your life, how long are you planning on living? Because it might be a long time for you to be dealing with this. You're only 40.
Yeah, I just don't see this going. And you know what? Don't be a pessimist by yourself. There's plenty of fish swimming around in the sea.
That's right.
And you sound like a not a bad guy, right?
Right.
You know?
For what we know. don't seem like it. But what we do know is that that's the end of that episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And
and
see
see
you
you
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Hey, wait a minute. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave. We have bonus stories that we think you're going to really like. So stay tuned for the next one.
My wife said another man's name during an intimate time. She reasoned it was only a slip of the tongue.
Her tongue's probably been slipping some other places.
I'm 27 male in a fight with my wife, 27 female, after an incident during intimacy. For context, we're high school sweethearts married for 6 years. We have a child, 3 male. We've been through a lot together. I love her deeply. And by the way, this comes from you, throwaway Crimson O Make. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to OKstorytime subreddit. So, our marriage is in a rough patch. Our quality time as a couple is struggling. We're in counseling. We're working on making time for each other and reaffirming our bond. That's our current focus in counseling, and we're assigned intimacy exercises. Part of these exercises is for us to make a consistent, conscious effort for each other. We did a staycation to celebrate our anniversary while our son spent the weekend at his grandparents'. The trip was largely nice, and we got to focus on each other, but it took a turn. The night of our anniversary, we were cuddling, and it turned into more. My wife initiated. She was really getting into it and expressive. And then out of nowhere, she moaned another man's name who's in our friend group.
That's messed up.
My heart would break. We stopped immediately. There was no mistaking what she said. She looked stunned before recovering and treating it like a texting typo or something. When I questioned why'd she say another guy's name, let alone one of our friends, she swore it meant nothing and that she was just consumed with what I was doing to her.
Probably thinking of someone else doing it.
That's not an excuse. I couldn't buy it. I don't believe it meant nothing, not the passionate way she said it. I believe she was fantasizing about him while being with me. She insisted it wasn't like that and was only a slip of the tongue. I asked why his name in particular. First, he didn't know. Then said maybe because she was replying to his text earlier in the group chat. When I pushed back, she got defensive. She said I was making something out of nothing and how it didn't need to ruin our anniversary. I told her nothing she was saying was reaching me and I needed some time. She tried kissing me and initiating again like nothing happened.
Girl, take a break.
The incident put a damper on the rest of the trip. We haven't been intimate since, and any steps we made forward with our exercises have taken a significant leap back. We're in a cycle of awkward silence even in front of our son or ignoring the elephant in the room. She's being extra affectionate now, but I can't shake what happened. I never thought twice about their friendship, but now I'm seeing past interactions differently. I love my wife. She and our son meant the world to me. I've been committed to working on our marriage, but I'm at a loss here. I feel my wife isn't being honest and is attempting to rug sweep by pouring on affection. I'm left reconsidering everything. I don't know how to navigate forward. I need outside perspectives. We got some comments. Bad Guy Busters 2020. Definitely need to save conversations on this for your counseling sessions. I highly recommend using a therapist certified in the Gottman method. Mama to Grace. Okay, if this happened with my partner, the first place my head would go immediately would be he's having an affair. I wouldn't go there. I would go to like they're just like attracted or fantasizing about them. But being on the outside, even though an affair is still on my list of possibilities, I don't think an affair is the only logical answer. My other logical conclusions isn't very pretty either, though. But it's happened that people are fantasizing about someone else. So she may just have the hots for this dude and thinking of him gets her going, and she was so in her own head picturing him that she got lost in her own moment and slipped out. For me, this option would still be grounds for me to take a step back and question a lot. Even in thinking of my partner fantasizing about a friend while having spicy sleep with me makes me want to throw up. So I 100% can understand why this has messed you up so bad. I don't think any response is going to make you feel better, honestly. Yeah. I think the only response would be an honest response. It would be hard, but I think that would get you past it. It happened, and that's going to be a hard one to forget. Man, I wish I had advice, but knowing it would make how it would make me feel, I got nothing I believe will make this feel any better for you. I would absolutely check your phone records to see if they are communicating more than they should be. That would definitely be my first move. Sheepskin Rugger. Reddit is bananas. There was a post here the other day by a guy who fantasized about another woman while having spicy sleep with his wife, and it was the best spicy sleep they ever had. He was wrecked with guilt and was asking if he should confess. Tons of commenters were saying they've done it, but it's not a big deal. It's just a fantasy. Don't borrow trouble by telling the wife, etc., etc. I'm not saying that to convince you to react one way or another. How you feel is how you feel. But I do say to caution you against taking advice from Reddit, because what you'll get tends to be completely arbitrary, and many commenters are influenced by what they read from others, and it snowballs. You're already in counseling with your wife. Take this there and ignore whatever you read from people who say it's no big deal. I fantasize about someone else every time I have spicy sleep with my partner, lol, lol. Or man, I can never get past this. She clearly wants that guy and it's only a matter of time before she cheats. Get out while you're still young. We don't have the answers you need. Talk to your wife and counselor. What every Reddit comment should be. We don't know jack crap. Figure this out on your own or with a therapist or through a conversation. But like navigate it without comments so people have no idea the context of your life in intimate ways. Update. Thanks to everyone who reached out. I, 27 male, couldn't reply to everything, but the outside perspectives helped. The general consensus was that my wife, 27 female, and I's issues should be tackled in therapy. I know that's what I should have done, but I delayed. I was too embarrassed. The thought of bringing up what happened in counseling made it worse, but I knew it needed to be done. My wife didn't initially take kindly to it. She was defensive and accused me of throwing her under the bus.
Who do you think is at fault here?
You should be bringing issues into therapy. That's what it's for. I disagreed. I wouldn't throw her under the bus either. The truth is we never arranged topics in therapy beforehand. We argued over each other. Our therapist came through as a referee to call for a timeout for us to recollect and to reflect on the objective being working towards a solution, not going at each other. We were able to actually talk when things cooled off, and my wife was asked how she would feel if the roles were reversed. That's a great question. I really like that. She admitted if I had said another woman's name while we were having spicy sleep and on our anniversary, she wouldn't have handled it well at all. She apologized for downplaying my feelings. While I appreciated her acknowledgement, I still thought she wasn't honest about why she said that guy's name. So I pressed. She said she didn't want to hurt me more than she already did.
Girl, you gotta do it.
I told her she was hurting me by lying. She confessed that during a stint where we weren't having spicy sleep, she had engaged in fantasies to satisfy herself. One of them was of our friend. I knew the stint she was talking about. Intimacy as a whole has been a struggle, but there was a point where we were abstinent, spicy, sleepy. We weren't even sharing a bed at the time. We'd argue, then leave to separate rooms. Our own son, 3 male, would share the bed with us. I asked how long she's been fantasizing about him. She said on and off. He wasn't a constant fantasy. It wasn't necessarily about him, but more about the taboo. I could totally see the tabooness of it. And I could also see she's not getting specific needs met in the relationship. And maybe she sees those needs being met by traits that that person has.
Maybe in like his own relationship.
Yeah. And so I think this could be a wonderful opportunity to voice that, what your own system is desiring, and see if your own partner can bring that into the relationship so you don't have to like unconsciously look for that elsewhere in a fantasy. She swore that the fantasies meant nothing, that they were just scenarios to get her there and nothing she would ever actually want. It was tough, but I tried hearing her out instead of shutting down. Arguing wasn't getting us anywhere either. I can't relate to her about this. She's always been enough for me during good and bad times. I was always focused on her during intimacy. I told her that while I knew our marriage wasn't perfect, I thought we were getting to a better place and we were engaging in various forms of intimacy again. She claims she doesn't indulge fantasies anymore. I called bull because she did just that on our anniversary of all days. She insisted his name was only a slip of the tongue because she was replying to his text in the group thread that day. She said she was consumed with what I was doing to her, and in the heat of the moment, his name slipped out. I felt like we were going into truth, and now it seems like we're kind of leaving back into lies. When I asked why she didn't tell me all of this after the incident, she said she felt guilty and afraid for our marriage. She said our marriage was already in a state of recovery and she didn't want to blow everything up over a stupid mistake. She kept saying she doesn't want him or anyone else. She only wants to be with me, and that's the only reason why she's fighting for our marriage. The session was a lot. I was mostly quiet after she finished. She asked me to please say something, but all I could say was I needed some time. I'm still sorting through how I feel. I believe she was more truthful, but it's difficult. Nor do I see things between her and our friend the same. I don't know if you could ever.
Yeah, it'd always be kind of suspicious. Just glaring at the friends, and the friend's like, what's up?
I would like to work on my marriage. My wife and our son mean the world to me. I want the best solution for everyone involved. Thank you to everyone. I appreciate the support. We got some more relevant comments. Art needs more floof. I think next thing is you need to do is schedule another therapy session and discuss tools for rebuilding trust. At this point, you bring up your trust was shook because she kept truthing, and how you know she isn't hiding more from you. That you don't want to distrust her, but you don't know how to rebuild. Allow me to be blunt about some uncomfortable truths. Everyone fantasizes. Let me be blunt. If someone says an absolute truth on the internet, don't believe them. Everyone fantasizes. It is if and how we act on our fantasies, and if we allow our fantasies to impact our real life, that matters. Keep your focus on her behavior, not her fantasies. And on that thing, I'm not saying like, oh, it's bad to, fantasize when you're by yourself, and everyone have different relationships with like fantasy and spicy sleep. But I don't know, the way it shows up for me is like, yeah, do what you want on your own. Like, I don't think if I'm partners with someone that biologically, I'm not going to be the only person they're attracted to, and that makes sense. But if you're with me and you're thinking of someone else while we're having spicy sleep, it feels rude and disrespectful. Keep your focus on her behavior, not her fantasies. Trust is similar to rewitch and Espanoltion in that once it is broken, it is hard to rebuild, but it can be rebuilt. Trust is always a leap of faith. It is built on little acts of consistent, reliable behavior, but at its heart, it is a leap of faith. The little voices in your head, OP, the ones going, but what if she is secretly in love with my friend? But what if she thinks he is sexier than me, etc.? Yes, those voices, nothing your wife can say or do will be able to silence those voices. That is a battle for you and you alone. You need to figure out how to self-soothe those voices. Rick Russell TX. Well, that's the problem with trickle truthing. There's no way to know when she stops trickling and when she's telling the truth. Once you start lying, people don't know when you're truthing.
Little boy who cried wolf situation.
Yeah, I said it earlier, but I think this can be an opportunity to see like what of her needs are being met and what she's, unconsciously going into her head to try to meet and to get that outside of your relationship. And maybe it's possible to use this as an opportunity to bring just a wonderful, honest conversation around what both of you need.
Very, very true. My husband is way too close to his married girl BFF. I told him to choose between us.
Ultimatums, boo.
My husband and I have been together for more than 5 years and married for 2 years. He has a female friend that he cares for deeply. They have been friends for almost the same time as us being together. By the way, this comes from Virtual Anxiety 4333. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/okstorytime subreddit. So when we started dating, it wasn't anything serious. They used to hang out together during office hours and office parties. Problems started when he wanted to hang out alone with her. She lived closer to his place, and I lived on the outskirts of the city, so it was a long drive. He would make plans with her in the office, text me about it later after work, and arguments ensued. Why not go to dinner with your friend group? Why only be alone with her? Why would you want to go to the movies alone with her?
Why do you want to kiss her when I'm not there?
Why are you saying her name? Their friendship always gave me weird vibes. Never seemed normal, and she was single with guys hitting on her. They even went on a trip together to attend an important event. Just the two of them. It seemed fishy, but he would always reassure me that they're just good friends and nothing more. That she had been through a lot in life without giving me the details, and he just wanted to be there for her. 1 year of drama, and then she relocated. A year later, she got married, and I felt relieved. But their friendship grew stronger over time. They would text and video call all the time. He talked to her more than me, trusted her more than me, opened up to her, was emotionally vulnerable, which he almost never is with me, shared everything with her. I will never understand their friendship, but it makes me very sus. Why? He always deletes their conversations. That's immediately.
Yeah, that's concerning.
The emotional intimacy they share. Sends her gifts, the only person he sends gifts to apart from me. They have an odd love-hate relationship. There are times when they would argue and stop talking to each other completely. He would never tell me the reason why. Usually it's for a few days, a few weeks at max. Recently, they stopped talking altogether. From being glued to a phone to no message. He would even tell me about women who have shown interest in him, but that's about it. I trust him fully, and even more so because he himself told me about them. But with his BFF, he tells me nothing. Just the constant reassurance that there's nothing more than friendship. Now, I want him to end his friendship with her. Am I overreacting? Could they just be really good friends? And there are some comments, and I'm going to read those before, because there's one from OP. OP says, when I asked him about deleting his conversations, he says he deletes everything and not just the conversations with her. That's weird behavior. Who does that?
Yeah, who deletes all their texts after? You know who does that? Substance dealers.
I don't even know if they're still talking. He does check his phone every now and then. After their long hiatus, they did speak recently, but again, why can't he take calls in my presence? What even is so confidential between them two? He has promised me several times that there's nothing between the two, but I just can't trust his words anymore. Is there a way to retrieve deleted chats? And there are one more comment. Comment 1 says, gosh, sounds like you are the third wheel. Sorry, OP. Why didn't they just get married to each other since they act like it? Is her husband okay with their closeness? Deleting messages looks sus. Why can't a married couple not be best friends? Why can't a married couple not share secrets and stories with each other, but need best friends from the opposite sex? I disagree with that. Get yourself a male best friend and think of yourself. Your husband doesn't. I don't agree with that comment.
Stupid comment.
Is her husband not looking for a female bestie? OP says, I have no idea how much her husband knows. Her husband obviously came much later into the picture, and by then she had already relocated. It's so sad that it makes me laugh. He isn't a bad husband, but he just acts weird around her, and there is an update. But you said you have thoughts.
Usually I'm so supportive around the opposite gender friendships. This one's concerning.
They're hiding so much.
Why are you hiding things? If you're so concerned around your privacy with this friend and you can't let your partner into anything in the relationship of this friendship, that's concerning. And then also, if he's more emotionally revealing with his friend than his own wife, it seems like he's not very revealing with his wife. That's concerning as well. I think people are welcome to have friends, but if, they're intimate than your wife.
And when you have said multiple times, hey, I'm uncomfortable, and he knows you're uncomfortable and does seemingly nothing to alleviate your concerns or your discomfort, but there is an update. Clarifications. They met shortly after my husband and I started dating. No, we don't have kids. She lives far away from us, so they don't meet in person. I'm planning to reach out to her, but not to her husband, at least not yet. Questions I asked him and his responses. 1. How did they become such close friends? Over time, they didn't start on good terms, but as they got to know each other better, their friendship grew stronger. So it was kind of an enemies to lovers kind of situation. What are her secrets? He didn't give me much detail, just that she was/has been depressed and her coping mechanisms weren't very healthy. She's doing much better now. 3. Why can't he share things with me? He feels there might be things that could hurt me, and he just wants to protect me. When I asked him, what? He deflected, saying it's his dark side, and he's too scared to discuss it with me. His dark side, where he cheats on his wife.
If he can't discuss things he's scared to reveal with his own wife, but he can with the friend
who he has known for basically the same amount. Not like a childhood friend.
Yeah, that's like major crack in foundation of relationship.
Huge crack. 4. Has he ever been disloyal? Never. 5. Does he feel their friendship is unusual? No. Why did they stop talking? He said he made a rude comment and didn't think she would forgive him. When I asked what he said, he explained it was related to her personal life and that he was being a wienerhead. 7. Why are they talking again? They resolved the issue. He apologized for his behavior and they decided to move forward. 8. Has there ever been any physical intimacy? No. Just hugs, holding hands to comfort her, and offering a shoulder to cry on.
You know what they say about shoulder to cry on?
It leads to spicy sleep.
A shoulder to cry on is a wiener to ride on.
He'd also agreed to show me their texts before he deletes them, but of course I wouldn't know if he decides to delete a few here and there. I'm going to ask her the same or similar questions and we'll update later. Update 2. I messaged her. Surprisingly, she responded, but I was not prepared for what she told me. After some small talk, I told her that my husband had mentioned her depression and I wanted to help. She was very furious at first, felt betrayed by my husband for telling me. Then I explained her the situation.
You want to help. That's a lie. Why are you lying to this woman? It's pretty manipulative to say that when it's not true and you're trying to get dirt on your husband.
I told her that he didn't ever give me the details, but I've reached a point where I really need to know what had happened for the sake of our marriage. She told me she was in a very toxic relationship. Her ex mistreated her verbally and physically. He was a manipulative, lying trash. She never spoke about her relationship with anyone, but she used to get mad wasted. One time, they were all out for office dinner. Because she was wasted, my husband and another friend offered to drive her home, since they live close by. My husband, being his cold and distant self, told her to not get wasted if she couldn't handle her liquor. Immediately, she burst into tears, told them she drinks to forget the pain, and told them all about her ex, how the relationship took a toll on her, how she had no support system. She had stopped talking to her friends and family because of her ex. They didn't say much to her then, but were obviously worried. They would check in on her every day, and slowly she also started opening up to them. That's how their friendship started. My husband doesn't know how to comfort people and would say mean things at times. That's why they used to fight a lot. And she moved cities to start a new chapter in life. She, just like my husband, reassured me that there was nothing more than friendship between the two. I then asked her about their last fight. She told me how my husband made a remark on her life choices which upset her, and that's why they stopped talking. I believed her. I thought maybe that's why they wanted to hang out separately and why he maintained all this secrecy. Maybe he just cares for her and wants to make sure she's doing well. I was wrong. I asked her if she ever felt differently about him. She told me yes.
Sheesh.
Yes, there was a time when she started liking him, and not just as a friend, but that was a long time ago. I asked her if he also felt the same, but she said she doesn't know. He is caring and protective of her, and that's all that matters to her. She knew he was with me, so she didn't pursue. I then asked her if there are still any residual feelings. She gave me a very vague response that she's happy in her marriage.
Are you into my husband? I'm happy in mine.
I thought I would be relieved after talking to her, but it made me even more uneasy.
Honestly, I feel more relieved.
I feel a mix. I do believe her, but I think that the husband probably knew that she had feelings for him, or maybe that came up.
He doesn't seem like the most emotionally attuned and mature person.
I feel sorry for everything she's been through, but I still don't fully believe her when she says she never pursued. Caring for someone does not mean talking to them for hours. They may be close friends, but she should confide in her husband now, which she probably does. But my husband being the way he is about her makes me very uncomfortable. I feel like asking my husband to end the friendship would be me being an a-hole, but I want him to be more transparent with me. And there is an update.
Before the update, real quick, it's not going to go well if you ultimatum that.
I mean, like, it's not going to build trust back into your relationship.
If he were to agree with you and stop being friends with his good friend that he's known as long as he's known you, he's just going to resent you.
Yeah, so it doesn't really help anything. So you just need to decide if this is something that you can get over through therapy or having a conversation, like setting up boundaries and stuff. If you can be comfortable through it, like doing therapy together and like having conversations and stuff, or if this is something you're like, I don't think I can ever get over this. Update 3. I had a long talk with my husband. I'm definitely not the a-hole. Also, I wasn't being paranoid. I told him everything she shared with me. I asked him if she had ever told him about her feelings. He said yes, but only after she got married. He's like, no, it's fine because she was already married when she told me she had feelings.
When we had spicy sleep, she was married.
I asked if he had felt the same and why he's so protective of her. Finally, he told me the full story. When they first met, they didn't like each other. But over time, that changed. She started to like him, but kept it to herself. They did have one wasted kiss. They quickly realized it was a mistake, apologized, kept their distance, never spoke about it again. Things were awkward for a while, but after a few months, they were back to normal. She eventually got married. She seemed to be doing well. Then one day, while very wasted, she told him about her dating life. That's when he found out she once had a crush on him, but nothing came of it. I asked him again if he had ever felt the same. I told him that it's all in the past, but we can't move forward unless he's honest with me. She's like, tell me, I won't be mad. He admitted there was a time after we got married when he was confused. He even told her that he might feel more than friendship. He didn't expect anything from her. She didn't take it well. They both dismissed it. They set boundaries. Now they're just good friends. But he never told you. I asked if her husband knows. My husband isn't sure, but her husband definitely dislikes me. He's seen her cry every time they fight. He thinks my husband is bad for her, and that's probably true. I asked my husband why he even married me. He said he loves me and wants to spend his life with me. That brief confusion was just a temporary stupid phase. I asked why he avoids calls in my presence. He said he sometimes steps out to get an outside perspective on our arguments.
Oh, so he's talking
About OP.
Yeah, so the friend has so many more privileges than OP does.
He's also been deleting conversations from his phone, not just with her, with everyone. I told him I don't trust him. I said he needs to be transparent with me to rebuild trust. He insists there's nothing to hide. He even shared his passcode without me asking. He said cutting her off would be hard, but he's willing to try if it proves his loyalty. We set some ground rules for now and have agreed to try couples therapy. And there are some comments and I believe an update. OP in the comment section, these are the ground rules, which we've set. No private calls, just not. Even if it's witching about each other. Nobody deletes any text messages, limiting conversations with her, transparency, no more gifts for her, no more special treatment. If there's something controversial, her husband deserves to know too. Regular counseling, spend more time with each other, no screen locks on phones.
I like these. These feel healthy and these feel like solid agreements to bring back trust.
Exactly. Comment 1, trickle truth. Ugh, it just gets worse. You're better than this. Please just seek therapy because as much as he now says, I bet that's not all. They kissed, they had feelings for each other, and yet he still wanted to maintain a secret relationship with her. Please, it couldn't be me. Even after telling you these small truths, he has the nerve to say it won't be easy. Like, come on, lady, stick up for yourself. And Opie says, yes, I'm furious, but what's another month when I've already invested so many years? If it gets better, great. If it doesn't, at least I wouldn't be a third wheel in my own marriage any longer. And someone replies, you're right, that would make sense. I was just concerned because of all the lies. How would you even know? You know him better than anyone. I did wonder why you've never met any of his coworkers. You don't go to any events or your marriage? That seems odd to me. And Opie says, I'm keeping my expectations very low. He can hide things from me, but what's the point? Why not just leave and be with her if that's what he wants? It's a very good opportunity for him to walk away. Well, we've read a lot of stories where that doesn't happen, where they just keep cheating, like they have the opening to leave and they don't. We have a different group from uni that we usually hang out with. Also, people don't usually bring their SO to these office dinners. It's more of a team building event. And there is an update. Really quick thought. I think, as you said, the ground rules that they're setting are good. And I think as long as both show like that they want, that they're trying to put in the work, then perhaps this relationship can get back to kind of a healthy space.
It seems like you're doing what you got to do to repair the relationship. Also, I would say like an additional thing that could be done is just like creating a space for OP to voice her anger and for you to acknowledge that and to acknowledge, you know, all the ways you've crossed the line and all the ways you've kind of like broken her trust, and to just have that finally be acknowledged so OP could let that go and then be able to move towards a trustful relationship.
But there is an update. I'm done with him. He needs Jesus in his life. Not only has he lied to me, but he's also lied to her, who doesn't want anything to do with him anymore either. I reached out to her again, thought I'd tell her to back off and inform her about the agreement I'd made with my husband, soon to be ex. Turns out it was always him who kept her close and refused to let her go. She told me that after he first opened up about his feelings, they didn't dismiss it right away. She was taken aback.
There was conversations around it.
Because she too had once liked him, it was difficult for her to shut him down immediately. So she didn't say anything, and as always, they pretended nothing had happened. He continued showering her with affection. She asked him to stop, telling him he was putting her in an uncomfortable position.
He was pursuing her. That's what it seems like.
That she loves her husband, and that's enough for her. Things were fine for a few months, but then he started again, showing her how caring he was, making her feel special. He constantly told her that she was the most important person in his life and that he'd never want to lose her.
Most important person in his life.
He repeated this so often, directly and indirectly, that she eventually started to believe him. And when she was fully invested, he told her there couldn't be anything more than friendship with her because he wouldn't cheat on me.
How awful is that? It's like you're pursuing this woman and she's like putting up with it, and then finally she's like open to it and you're like, psych, I'm out.
You thought I was into you? Whoa.
I just wanted to see if I could convince you to be into me.
She realized what a huge mistake she'd made and a wake-up call. She is immensely ashamed of her actions and disappointed in herself. I don't blame her, though. To me, she is a victim, too. He knows how vulnerable she is, and he used it against her. To this day, he tells her the same thing. He loves her, but only as a friend because he's married to me. What a pathetic excuse. Maybe he does care about her and wants the best for her, but his actions are definitely causing her more pain. When she tried to end their friendship, he wouldn't even let her go, saying couldn't live without her, that he feels lonely and lost, and that she's the only good thing that's ever happened to him. He put her through so much, keeping her emotionally stuck and playing with her feelings. The rude remark came when she told him he was going to tell me everything and show all the messages and drama he'd put her through. He threw it back on her, saying she was the one who first admitted she liked him and that he had always been clear they were just friends. He accused her of wanting all or nothing and blaming her for trying to run away just like she always has. You know what? Yeah, I mean, OP told us that he was bad at emotions and was mean. He made cruel comments. And this tracks. They stopped talking after that. Zero contact. But he messaged her again. She told him to stay away from her. But he said he just wanted to apologize and asked if they could start over. He reassured her that he would never repeat his actions. They had been good friends before all of this happened, so she agreed to give it another shot. But you should give us many shots. Listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. And there is a little bit more.
I want to hear it, Sophia.
Now that I have reached out to her, she feels she doesn't want any drama in her life. She's happy, and if their friendship is putting my marriage at risk, she's more than willing to back off. I think your friendship ended their marriage. I don't know what he wants in life, but I'm having none of it. I wonder if he was cheating on me with her or cheating on her with me. Oh, whatever it may be, whether he is genuinely confused or he is simply making a fool out of everyone, I don't want to be with someone who isn't in love with me or emotionally invested elsewhere. What did he say when you confronted him with the truth? I am glad you finally got the truth and your mind is clear on what to do. Obi says, he He's telling me a lot of things, including, oh, she must have misinterpreted our messages. I've asked her for screenshots. And reply, very cowardly of him. Instead of manning up, he keeps on lying and even throwing her under the bus to save his butt. Let him video call or phone call her on speaker and let him tell her that. Then she can hear his lies as well. And if he calls her a liar, then it makes it perfect sense for him to go no contact and vice versa, since his bestie lies. That is the end of the story. There's nothing left. Wow.
I feel scared of this man.
I mean, just like the psychological kind of torment that he's been putting these women through. I mean, the best friend of just constantly going back and forth, of giving affection and then taking it back, trying to convince her that he loves her and then taking it back.
And when she gives him the affection that he wants,
He's like, oh, what are you talking about? You misread that. And then with OP, just lying and lying and lying.
giving some truth and then taking it back.
But that is the end of that story.
I'm glad you're getting out of that relationship.
Me freaking too.